Good morning YouTube, Chris here, the Country Cottage Gardener. Welcome you back to another video. How many pairs of gloves does a gardener need? Some would say only one. I disagree strongly about that. Let me tell you why. Actually, let me start by saying I apologise this has taken so long to do this video. I've wanted to get some video footage of all of these gloves in action, although you've probably seen them if you follow the channel. You've probably seen them all within videos being used. But people have asked, it's one of the main comments that has come up about what gloves I use, also what trousers I wear and what t-shirts, you know. Oh, my phone's vibrating. So, excuse me, duty calls. I apologise it's taken so long, but I wanted to compile all this information together. So anyway, I'm also going to start by saying I'm going to talk about one main brand of gloves, and that's the Gold Leaf. That's the Gold Leaf brand of gloves. That's the little symbol there, and phone's vibrating again. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest about this. I've been using this brand for, I would say, about 10 years. All the time I've been self-employed gardener, I've been using the Gold Leaf brand, but I got given a pair of these gauntlet gloves when I left my previous life job. There was a lovely old dear who really encouraged me to go self-employed. She knew what I wanted to do and really pushed me, and as a goodbye present she bought me a pair of these gloves. Now I looked at these gloves and I kind of went, ooh, they look a bit granny, they look a little bit old, they don't suit a gardener, a masculine gardener. And I put off wearing them for about 4 months, until one day I come to a job and I was wearing a pair of flimsy gloves and it had brambles in it. I put these gloves on and I tell you what, it was like putting on your comfy pair of slippers. And it sounds a bit corny, but they were just beautiful. A little bit stiff to start with, but because they're all made of leather, it soon supples, and actually they do mould to your hands. Now that's the good thing about me, is I have big hands. I take size 10 to 11 gloves. So anyway, you're going to see footage of all of these gloves in action, but I'll just quickly run over other brands of gloves that I will use. Because the main tool, you see all these reviews for all gardeners, being it professional or domestic, and they'll be for like hedge cutters, blowers or lawn mowers and whatever, but the bare bones of it is the two main tools you shouldn't neglect are your hands, surely, you know. And I do, I'm my own worst enemy. If I'm using the drill, I'll take my gloves off. If I'm using a knife or tying some twine, I take my gloves off. I don't wear them enough, but I have got so much better in the last 5 years for it, after I had several splinters go down my fingernails and things like that, and that soon makes you change your ways. But anyway, I'm rambling, so let's first talk about other brands of gloves before I get onto the Gold Leaf ones, because there's 3 times that I will wear different types of gloves. Although they can be used within that range, this is personal preference. They do a dry touch. Now I believe this is, yeah, these ones are the dry touch in their range, but I prefer using blackrock dry touch. Now you'll see some footage here of me actually using these in a pond, or I'll use these if I'm using wet concrete, because I'm a messy concreter. I'm quite a messy paver. I get it on my hands and all sorts. So these, you can actually submerge your hands in a bucket of water, as long as it don't go behind this cuff point. They are fully submergible, but they have got inside them, I wouldn't say it's a coating of sort, but the texture it's got in them is semi-warm, which leads me on to why I've just started using, and I say just in the last 2 months, these poorer gloves. Now again, they're the same sort of coating on them, but the band on the back is slightly lower down, but these do have a really fluffy inside. But I'd say the only problem with these, alongside other Thinsulate brand ones, as Blackrock do in this style, is when you're taking your hands off and they're a little bit warm, you can pull the inside layer of these out. You really have to grip each finger to make sure it stays in place to get them off successfully without pulling all that liner out. It's a bit of a pest, to be honest. The only other time I'll wear a different brand of gloves is when I'm weeding, and then I just use these cheap Blackrock ones, and I think these are about £1.50 a pair. They're just very Billy Bob basic ones, because you can wear the fingers out on these and I don't feel so guilty about it. You can use those gold leaf gloves, of course you can, but I will show you just to prove. I've only got one of these old ones because I left the other one on top of the van roof to dry out and it went for a Burton. Now these are my original ones that I got given, and you can see where I've worn the tips of the finger out. Now I will use these occasionally still, but that will catch you off guard, as you'll see in the footage. So these are the gauntlet types. So that's nearly a decade old, that one, with a leaf in it. And then I replaced those ones with these ones. Still got plenty of life left in them, but as you can see, the finger is starting to go on there. But on this hand, I've still got loads of life left in it, absolutely loads. And these will still protect as good as the next one, but I bought a new pair to show you the contrast difference, and also I had a bit of a Christmas bonus to myself, so I thought I'd treat myself. It's like the first day of school, you go out and you buy yourself, you know, all new stationery. Well, I bought myself new gloves. Now the only thing I'd say about all of these is that when you first put them on and they get wet, you do turn a little bit Homer Simpson, you do get a little bit of yellow hands. So they're the gauntlets. Absolutely fantastic. Gauntlet men's. They look the part, I think, now. My perception of them has really changed. They are quite fashionable for a gardener, professional gardener. So we've got the gauntlets. As I say, these ones are the dry touch. Absolutely fantastic gloves. Again, a little bit short for me in the wrist, even though you've got the gauntlets there. I would have liked these a bit longer, but that's just down to my personal preference, I guess. And then we've got these ones, which I will probably use the most. These are called the soft touch. So you don't want to get brambles on the back of the hands, although they do snag on there. It's generally a snag. It's not as painful as getting it full on in the palm of the hand or whatever. But as I've already talked about those, they're a little bit short in the wrist. Nice little Velcro there, nice little decal of their details, etc. And I haven't got them with me purely because, and that's the warm touch, and they're like this one. I'll put a picture up from their website, I'm sure they won't mind, but they've got the Thinsulate inside. But those ones had the issues that I said about where you end up pulling the Thinsulate inside out to doing that. Anyway, I'm rambling. I've given you all the information. Now you can watch some footage. We'll catch up at the end and I'll show you what I've been doing with these flower beds with this mystery compost. Thank you very much. Right then, my little seedlings, so I've finished up here. I hope you enjoyed that footage. As I say, these gold leaf gloves, the footage really speaks for themselves if you're looking for a tough, durable, comfortable glove. Yeah. There's not much more to say about them. I rave about them, I've recommended them lots, and a genuine recommendation because I've used the product. Anyway, finishing up the job that I've done here, I've been working through this old mystery compost, and we call it mystery because the customer here moved in a year ago, and this is well over a year. It's very compact and rooty. I'll just show you what I've been doing here on these beds. So this was the compost bin itself, and it was full right up, but I've been going through, I haven't been sieving it, but I've been going through with the fork and bashing out and getting all of this, getting the goodness out of the roots. But there's bits like there's a bit of old bone in there. Some of these I'm going to chuck the bones of things away, and things like the plant tags which are always in there, and the crock I've been throwing to one side. But this root are going to go back into the next lot of compost. That'll be absolutely fine. I'll put it to one side for the week and let it die off because it won't have anything to sort of grip onto, etc. And then that'll go into the compost over there, which I'm guilty of being adding to. It's mostly overflowing, but I'm going to make bigger bays down there, and actually, because we get a lot of leaf drop across here, I'm going to sort that out. But this is what I've been, because it's so loose and fine where I've been kind of forking it, I've literally been able to chuck it loosely onto the beds, other than the wet stuff that you get from garden centres or whatever. It's all clumpy. So I've just been covering these beds here, and just before I go, I'll just go around with the leaf blower. And I'll just tidy up the edges, and also just blow the plants as well. Where I've just been chucking it, some of the bits have been sat on top, and the leaf, I mean the wind will do it, but it's nice to leave it in a tidy state before I go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you'll take from it that I am a fan of the gold leaf gloves, and if you're looking for a tough wearing pair, that's certainly where I'll be turning to. But of course, down in the comments, let me know what gloves you wear, because there's so many brands out there. And everybody, thank you for watching. Keep safe and well, and we'll catch you on another video soon. Cheers.